Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. I am doing my best to try and finish this recordings before summer hits because I need to record with my door closed and it gets stupid hot in here. So by the time I'm recording this, it is like May 25th. I'm praying to God I can get these next episodes done before, but if it is, it is. Anyway, last we left off, let's talk to Mr. Man, who I believe now is Juan Corrida's murderer. That's all there is to it. I really think he is. His reactions, his responses of ignorance is bliss. You don't say things like that unless you are guilty of something. So I'm gonna drag it out of his mouth. Mr. Ungard, what is your secret? Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Corrida had been successful in his plan? What would have been disclosed? I told you before, dude, I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Corrida. Especially on that night. Yeah, I have these things. I don't know what should I present. Well, definitely not, I don't think I present that. Can I present this? Okay, good, yeah. Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Corrida's room on the night of the murder. Secretly film? What? And then sent the images the camera took with this transmitter. Wow. But, dude, where was this camera you're talking about hidden? Inside the big brown bear. The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. I guess Juan had a few of these kind of fans too, huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. You sure, dude? Well, who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Corrida. The person who gave it to Mr. Corrida was you, Mr. Ungard. Mr. Ungard, don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think I ever met Mr. Bear before, dude. Aw, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend? What else did Bear tell you? He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. Ungard. Well, if I didn't know how you work in court, I think I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet. Well, do you have any proof you want to show me first? Proof? Alright then. Here's some proving it was you who put the camera inside the bear. The only thing that connects the camera and the bear is this receipt. And this is showing that he bought a stuffed bear like this. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. Ungard. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear. Dude, all you can tell from this is that I spent $3,800. I go to that department store all the time, okay? This $3,800? This could be the toothbrush I bought that one time. A $3,800 toothbrush?! It's ivory, and it's got elephant hair with bristles. Ew! Elephant hair? Is that what rich people use nowadays? That's actually kind of disgusting. Elephant hair. Ew. Anyway. The store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not? Dude, you should have said that earlier. So, can I ask you one thing? Yes? You're my lawyer, right, dude? So if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you gonna do now? I'm gonna find out what I want to know. Because I must. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Corrida's room and filmed it in secret. It was set to record on the night of the murder at 8 p.m. It no doubt shows the murder happening. I mean, we don't have the footage, but the murder occurred at 8:15, so that's kind of nondescript. The reason he hid this camera in Mr. Corrida's room. Well, if we're going to continue with the line that Matt Ungard is the killer, the one who hired Shelley de Keller, who would be caught on that camera? Obviously, Juan, but also Shelley de Keller. He filmed it in secret. I don't know why he filmed Shelley de Keller. Maybe he wanted confirmation himself instead of the assassin's word. I don't know, but that's the thing. He recorded Juan being murdered. The only thing that shows that Juan was murdered by Shelley de Keller is this card, which was placed next to the victim. This is the only thing that hints at what happened in that room. Oh good, I was right, thank God. I was guessing. I honestly was guessing. What's this card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelley de Keller. And I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelley de Keller? That's ridiculous. Now, why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you all of a sudden acting so jumpy? This is it. I'm finally starting to get to the truth. I can't afford to make more mistakes now. Mr. Matt Ungard, I know why you know Mr. de Keller. It's because... Exactly. You're his client. Yes. You're his client. That means... we are defending a murderer. At de Keller's behest. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So, how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelley de Keller to assassinate Mr. Juan Corrida. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is you, Matt Ungard. And here I was trying to be a good boy for you, dude. What? Thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway. But, Mr. Ungard, so, you really did hire? Hold on a sec, okay? I'm gonna consult myself, dude. Consult myself? What is he, bipolar? Schizophrenic? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. Meet who? Oh. How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt Ungard. Oh, God. You know, seeing this in remastered graphics, my God, that face looks so much more sinister. Holy. I remember first seeing this way back in the GB, no, not GBA era, the DS era, and my God, that face looks even more horrifying. Woo! Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. You really... So you are Shelley DeCalau's client? You didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this now, did you? What do you mean? That woman, Adrian, she was quite brave herself, trying to stick the crime on me. Didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? That... You're lying! What a terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on and let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. But why? Why did you hide a video camera and... A weakling soon believes the words of others. Just like that pathetic Adrian. He knew about Miss Andrews' secret? Oh, but I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. What? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? You care to guess? And that's why? Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face at the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay, and even blackmail him if I want. That's right, that video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it nowadays, Mr. Wright? But why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up and I can. Is that a good enough answer for you, little girl? Why? Why would you kill Mr. Corrida? Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they? This is all because of that press conference, isn't it? Well, if Mr. Corrida had been able to give it, then Mr. Ungard's secret would have... well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know. I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit the idea crept up on me. And then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Corrida ended up dead. Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Put on a sweet innocent face, and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it. The assassin too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone, all working their butts off for me, Mr. Matangard. Oh, did that leave you speechless? Oh, that's quite a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet. How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Corrida, and you looked me straight in the eye and answered very clearly you didn't kill anyone. Hey, no, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that DeCalau guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a cat nap in my room. You killed Mr. Corrida! I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Oh, but too bad you can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How did that sound? Oh, but you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can't do. Mystic Maya! You wouldn't want to test DeCalau. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You scoundrel! So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy, win-win situation. I'll get you for this! Oh, it is such a cliché phrase. One said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how well things turned out for him now, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. Maya... Just what am I supposed to do? And now you finally found it. The starting line of this case. What? Edgeworth, Edgeworth, did you just break a law by spying on our conversation? The conversation between lawyer and client is strictly confidential. But then again, this is Edgeworth, and he already knew the truth. We'll give him a pass. Edgeworth! I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. Well, Wright, what are you going to do? If you plan on changing your strategy... No! We can't do that! That's right. He's holding Maya hostage. What should I do? That's not something I can answer for you. Mr. Edgeworth! Right. Only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, at that time, I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, Wright, it's your turn. My turn? What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own. In other words, a philosophical talk that does not help our situation, Edgeworth! I'm a lawyer, but to fight for someone who is clearly a killer... Matt Ungard? That... Damn it, that man is really... It doesn't matter who. Every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system? Proper defense? But what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery? Ironic that you, of all people, should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you have fought for your clients up until now? Well, that may be true, but that's because I believe my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get Ungard an acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. Okay, you know, I just have to say this. In real life, you know, we have defense attorneys and prosecutors as well in real life. And every time we get these big name cases, I'm not going to name any because I don't want to be political, but I'm pretty sure a couple of you can come up with some more recent ones. Civil rights cases. Where there's these... The suspect, regardless of whether or not the evidence says strongly one way or the other, the suspect does have a right to have a complete, full hearing, and that includes having a competent defense. How the defense chooses to go their strategy, whether it's for a whole acquittal, or just basically try and hope for the best and just cut some of the worst parts out of the crime, charges, I'm sorry. That's what the defense lawyer has to do. That's their job. So when I hear, and I'm not in the law profession, but when I hear all these things about the defense attorneys getting so much flack for defending a defense attorney, defending a client who, at the point of the trial, has not yet been proven guilty. It's like, are you serious, people? The law exists for a reason. It exists for a reason. Not guilty until proven innocent. You can't. My point here is, there are some defense attorneys that do the right thing. And by the right thing, I mean, yes, they know the client is guilty, but they go through the full hearing, and they try and see what they can prove is the actual true charge. Others, and I have seen this as well through news broadcasts, they try to go all out like, totally not guilty, who cares about this evidence, not guilty at all. There's a reason why they say being a lawyer, a prosecutor, or a defense attorney, you have to have no soul to do that job. Because even if you know the person that you're charging or defending is guilty or innocent, you still have to do the job. It's a soulless job. And people are gonna hate you for it. Someone has to do it. So, to hear that people are always going against these lawyers or prosecutors for going against a quote-unquote innocent or quote-unquote guilty person before the trial is even over. That's not due process. I mean, yes, it's a First Amendment speech, but to go threatening people about it, to go, he should be disbarred, he should not have a license to teach law, practice law. People, just give it a rest. Due process. And then that's my 2 cents about this. Again, I don't practice law. I know totally almost nothing about law. But I know that much about due process. It's a soulless job. Someone has to do it. Don't go threatening people over it because they're doing their job. That's it. It's a soulless job, but someone has to do it. Anyway, I became a lawyer because I thought that I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do. Right. Would you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong. Huh? We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. You want to save someone? That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say? You're a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do. Why fight? People like you and Francisco von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict. For a man I clearly know to be guilty. Francisca. She fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all. And? Isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed. You're so petty. I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you're mistaken, Wright. What do you... Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized things such as a perfect record were meaningless. What? I don't believe you. Are you saying that is why you left the prosecutor's office? But then why? Why are you back here now? The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you'll see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of this story. Oh dear. Mr. Nick, and the transceiver! Well, we're gonna do that later, because it's before edits, just a little over 24 minutes, and I spent 3 minutes on a rant about prosecutors and defense attorneys and how sometimes they are just like so unjustly, just because they're doing their job. But that's neither here nor there, that's done. I'm gonna go take a rest, I'm gonna reset my mind away from that little rant I did, and call it end to this video. Later, everyone.